Hello, 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 Angel here. Welcome to or back to this space. Thank you for stopping by one more time. So today I've got my cup of coffee here on the table. I'm thinking let's have a bit of a chatty, comfy, cosy video looking at the decks that have come into my collection since the beginning of 2025. So we're looking at the first quarter of 2025. I'm still getting back into the swing of this video making malarkey, and I was just thinking, what better way than to put a few decks on the desk and to just hang out together? What do you think? Does that sound like your bag? If it does, grab a cozy stool, grab a cup of tea, grab a cup of coffee. Let's get into it. Now, I do love me some pre-loved secondhand decks, and the first pre-loved deck I found was the Connected and Free Oracle, which was on my super duper online charity shop, which I love, and I need to stop perusing. These are the bags. This is the indie version, and I had this deck in my Amazon cart in the French version for the longest time, and I hadn't pulled the I hadn't hit the buy button. And then I saw this. I love this. I saw this on the charity shop page, indie, for less money than the new French version. Now, I don't speak French, which I said several times. That should be my slogan, my catchphrase on this channel, because I say it so often. And so I thought, I'm gonna buy the indie version, obviously. And it came through. It's got beautiful cardstock. It's quite, I'm not going to say it's really thick, but it's a nice cardstock. It shuffles really nicely. It didn't come with a guidebook, and I don't know if this deck, I'm assuming it does come with a guidebook. This one didn't. That's fine. I think I paid about £20 for it, which I think is, a perfectly fine price for a second-hand indie deck. I'm more than happy with my purchase. And what I'm doing at the minute is actually creating my own guidebook using the images. So yeah, I mean, they're very colourful images, and I've looked at this one for a long time. I've seen it on, I think, like Lisa Pepez's channel, and I want to say maybe even Danny Mystic's channel. I saw it, I've seen it often, and a long time ago, and I was like, I really like that. And I've been umming and ahhing about buying the French version, and when this version came up, I was like, yeah, I'm going to nab me some of that. So yeah, so the little guidebook is being created as we speak. It's an ongoing project. But I'm thinking now, actually, after using the Cave of Sybil Oracle, that obviously they've got keywords, but I'm thinking that, maybe a guidebook isn't as necessary as I first assumed it might be or needed to be. I don't know, but it's an ongoing project anyway. I'm quite enjoying the Cave of Sybil Oracle without the initial influence of the keywords. That was a tangent, even though this deck does have keywords. I'm going to stop talking. We're moving along. So the next deck was in connection with the last one. This is the Lumina Tarot. This is the indie version as well. It did come in a box, but I'm using this currently this month, so it's on my tarot card, and the box is quite big. So this hasn't even been cracked. I don't think the guidebook's even been used, to be honest. This came in a nice bag, which the cat hair was added by me, myself, and my kitty cats after the purchase. These are the bags which match the Oracle. Let's just put this out of the way. Now, did I mention that I do have the French version of this? But the French, this is going to sound really bizarre, but the French version of this deck feels cold. I know that sounds really weird to say. But when I got this, I decided to purchase this one. This was about, I think it was about £20 as well. And I know that I do have the French version, but I just bit the bullet and bought it anyway, in English and in indie. And this, I don't know what it is. This just feels warmer. That sounds bizarre to say, but the French deck felt really cold when I tried to use it. I've used it a couple of times, but it hasn't really spoken to me. I love this imagery. So yeah, so this is in my cart beside me this month to be used. Yeah. So yeah, I haven't really got anything else to say because I haven't really, worked so much with it. I'll have some more to say, I think, in my April favourites. Do you have this deck? Have you worked with it?
how do you find it as a reader if you have? I'm feeling really drawn to this month, and even, which I don't have. I do have, but it's stacked up with other decks. I've also pulled forward the Wild Unknown tarot this month to use, which doesn't feel very spring-like, but I just feel really, really drawn to it. I love this. Oh, give me some skulls. I do like me some skulls. This this grey, what's the word? Aesthetic, this dark aesthetic, or darker aesthetic. I love this. It's blooming, gorgeous. And it's got that pop of colour, a bit like the Wild Unknown. Love this. So yes, what's the guidebook like? I don't know actually, to be honest. I haven't even read the guidebook, but I'm sure it's great. That was really unhelpful, wasn't it? It was, but I'll be able to tell you more, as mentioned, once I've actually worked with it this month. Let's move along. Now the next deck was a total Katie from Moonflower Moments made me do it. This is, well, she didn't make me do it. She didn't have my arm behind my back. This is the William Blake Tarot of the Creative Imagination by Ed Burin, I want to say. This was also a second-hand deck. I bought it on eBay. These are the backs. When I was kind of, playing with the idea of purchasing this deck after seeing it on Katie's channel, and the way they spoke about it, I was like, oh, I think I need that. This is a card I'm working with. I'm in the Devil card year at the moment. I'm doing a deep study with it. I'm really interested in Lucifer the Lightbringer. More about that in my catch-up video coming very, very soon. Yeah, so this is still in order because I'm kind of, I haven't started drawing cards with it. I'm kind of doing a bit of a, I'm not a deep dive, but I'm kind of keeping the deck in order and, flicking through the artwork and seeing which cards speak to me and what stands out for me. I wouldn't say this is generally my aesthetic, but I don't know, I just feel really, really drawn to it. That kind of thing happens, doesn't it? Our tastes change, things ebb and flow within our practice. So I can't really tell you what it's like as a reader because I haven't used it for readings. As well as this one, I also purchased the Cathar, I want to say it's called, Tarot, which these two decks, I'm going to show you the next one, came together. They were on the listing together. That's this one. I haven't even looked at this one because I didn't purchase, it was in a bundle, is what I'm trying to say. These are the bags. And I literally just was reading through the guidebook now to see what it said. And it actually sounds really interesting and it kind of taps into what I'm working with now. Just as a bit of a digression, the exploration with the Devil card has kind of led me into looking at, I'm going to say the Bible. And I'm not a religious person at all. I would say that I wasn't brought up religious in any way, shape or form. When I used to ask my mum what religion we were, because, we didn't really speak about religion in my house and we didn't go to church and, it was just all free and easy. My mum always said we were Church of England, which, what does that mean? And we only went to church at Christmas Eve maybe, just, to sing a few carols and, see Christmas in basically. Does that sound naughty? I'm sorry if you find that offensive, but, so I haven't really studied the Bible. We did a bit of Bible study at school, but nothing, really in depth. So I'm kind of on the same thought process as I was with my Red Bonnet and Big Bad Wolf. I'm kind of I want to flip the narrative. That sounds really bizarre. I don't mean any offence by that, but I'm very interested in the Bible and Lucifer. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna say anymore because I don't want to get myself into trouble. I definitely don't want to offend anybody. Okay, moving along. We're moving on to the Anima Mundi Tarot. This was on the same favourite secondhand web shop or charity shop that I purchased the Connected and Free Oracle on. Wait, what? These are the backs. This is gold gilded, and I saw this one quite a few times when I was perusing the online shop there, the secondhand charity shop, and I was like, I don't know. It's an animal deck, obviously, for you guys and girls and people that have it. And I was like, I don't know. Do I need it? I don't know. And then I started working, or started, the deity energy started coming through to me, and the Anima Mundi suddenly really started to resonate. And I was like, I went back on the same secondhand shop again. It was obviously still available, and I was like, feels like a bit of a coincidence. And I don't think there are any coincidences really. And it wasn't expensive, and I just, I took the plunge. I tell you. So if you've been using this deck in conjunction with the deity energy that I'm connected to and working with, and I'm really sorry, I'm totally obsessed with rams at the minute and goats, and I'm also really that was be a goat, not a ram. I don't know the difference. I'm also really obsessed. I'm not obsessed. Sorry, bear with me. I'm obsessed with the devil card in all decks at the minute, and I love that this card, this deck, the devil card, is the only person in the deck. I think that is spot on. I really like that. Lovely cardstock, very swishy. Yeah, so this one's kind of been coming out in conjunction with the what's the deck called? Remembering the Sweet Fall Tarot and the Lost Oracle. It's kind of been coming out as a pairing with those two. Really like it. I really like the colour palette of this one as well. Makes me feel calm. And obviously, maybe it's not obvious, I don't know. It probably is obvious. It feels very grounded to me, obviously. Stop saying obviously. Yeah, and the colour palette makes me just feel really calm and grounded. Like it, love it, really enjoying it. Should we move along? I think we should. So the next second-hand pre-loved deck that I was able to get my hands on was the Ocean Dreams Oracle by Danielle Noel. This was, I think I found this one on eBay, if memory serves correctly. Yeah, and it hadn't particularly been on my radar. I do have the Star Child Tarot, and I do have Danielle Noel's Moonchild Tarot, which comes out more often than the Star Child. I had the Star Child Tarot out when I purchased this one, and I think when I saw Danielle Noel's this deck on eBay, I was like, oh. So I did some research. I love this. Blooming love these shrouded figures, and I love the cardstock. It's like, I think this is Rose. What's it called? Rose. Oh, you're shouting at the screen, and I know what it is, but I can't think. Rose something. Cardstock. I'm sorry. I'm actually naughtily, can I say, I'm off work at the minute because I've got a banging headache, and I'm feeling not at my best. So words are worse than usual. I'm trying to pull them from my brain, and it's worse than usual. Anywho, this is a deck that I've been using for my womb healing work, and I've been using it in connection with the She-Wolf. I know, surprising, the She-Wolf Tarot, and even the, what's that called? Sacred Cycles Oracle. Been having an amazing journey with these three as a combination. And I was kind of I was like, should I buy it? Should I not? I don't know. Because I do have, which I know it's not the same, but I do have the Work Your Light Oracle, which I feel the artwork is also by Danielle Noel, but the guidebook is by Campbell. I'm blanking on the name. I'm so sorry. And I don't use that very much, although that's one of my first Oracle decks, and it's still in my collection, so it clearly speaks to me on some level. But I bit the bullet, and I'm so glad I did, because this has been a really excellent deck, and the messages that have been coming through have been really healing. Again, a very calming deck. Yeah, I haven't really got anything to say about it. So glad that I brought this into my collection. I haven't tried it with Danielle Noel's other decks, and I don't tend to pair the same creators' decks together, but you know, that could be an option. So yeah, Ocean Dreams. I got it for a really great price. Really happy with my purchase. I don't what's the word? I don't regret it one iota. I've got a couple more left. Should we get into it? I think we should. So, warning for nudity before I bring the next one into shot. Warning for nudity. You've got your warning. This is the Naked Truth Tarot. This is by Fabio. No, wait. No, I'm lying to you. It's not. It's by Baroque Tarot. That was a terrible, terrible introduction to this deck. Purchased this one on eBay. I was also looking at another deck which I can't remember the name of. I'll put it on the screen. It was between those two. There was a seller selling both those decks, and I was like, I don't know which one to buy. I don't know which one to get. I really felt drawn to both. And then I watched a walkthrough by Cody, Tarot Readings from a Bitch. I watched a walkthrough on their channel, and I was like, I'm going to get this one. I'm definitely going to get this one. Okay, let's focus in a bit here. The devil is on top because I have been doing this deep dive, and this was one of the recent cards I pulled. This is obviously all, you know, pre-existing artwork. I'm just going to say that this cardstock is delicious. If I could eat it, I would. I wouldn't, because obviously I want to, you know, use it for divination. I want to use the cards for divination, but you get my drift, right? The cardstock is gorgeous. It's gorgeous, I tell you. Yeah, and you know, I wouldn't say I've got any kind of other deck in my collection with this, you know, this pre-existing artwork. I'm obviously apart from the Hush Tarot, which I wouldn't put in the same, I wouldn't block them together in the same genre, I'm going to say. And I don't think I would get any others. This has, you know, I don't want to say scratch the itch because that sounds quite a throwaway. This has, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, angel, get a grip, my darling. I think I'm going to say that it's slotted in to what I needed it to slot in to. This is a deck that I'm going to go more into this in the video about the catch-up video about where I've been and what I've been doing. Love this. This is there's another energy coming through, I feel. And I don't, and this deck taps me into that energy. I'm going to leave it there until we go into that video. I blooming love this. I blooming love this. Having a bit of a love affair with the Queen of Swords at the minute. I most definitely love this picture. I blooming love this. There's so many images or artworks in this deck that really speak to me. I blooming love this. Oh, it's absolutely delicious. I love this. That's just delectable. Look at me pulling these words out, you know. Honestly, in the background I've got a dictionary. I'm flicking through looking at the dictionary for the different words. I'm not. I really enjoy this as well. So yeah, and I really like this. Oh, yummy, yummy scrummy. And this, what more can I say? I can't really say anymore. I love this as well. This is an image that I think we see quite often in these kind of decks, and I think that's also the reason I wouldn't purchase another one of these like pre-existing art decks, because and I can't think of the deck that was between whatever I wrote on the screen, whatever I'm writing on the screen now. It was that deck and this deck, and I do feel that there was one or two images that popped up in both of the decks. So I think for that reason as well, I would only, you know, I'm really happy with this one in my collection. I love this. There's two extra cards. There's one called the Gathering and one called the Enchantress. I blooming love that. So yeah, I think I'm going to stop. You know, I could sing the praises of this deck and the artwork, you know, until the cows come home, basically, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to. You know, I know your time is precious. I've got one more deck to show you, which was a total bargain. Should we get into it? Oh, let's. So the last deck was a complete bargain. Found it on eBay. This is my latest deck into my collection. This is I want to say it's a mass market deck. It is the Da Vinci Tarot. It was £2.50. I kid you not. And I do actually have the box and the guidebook, which I don't know where I've put it because I'm using this deck currently. In conjunction, I kid you not, with the Naked Truth Tarot and even the what's the Fallen Angel Oracle? Yeah, that's what it's called. I was going to say, what's the Fallen Angel Oracle called? Well, it's called the Fallen Angel Oracle. Honestly, angel, you know, I don't. I'm going to blame it on my sickness, but I don't know if it is my sickness or just my brain. This deck is in Swedish, and I saw it for £2.50, and I was like, oh, is this a fake? But then I saw the box, and the box is like, you know, I don't know where I've put it, and I'm not going to try and find it because I don't want to keep you waiting. But it's a proper box, and the book is a proper book. Yeah, and it's I think the deck is by. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, sorry, I'm going to put that on the screen. Apologies. And I haven't even gone to the guidebook for this deck because, which I thought was actually quite unexpected. This deck for me is really an intuitive deck. Now, Da Vinci is not like one of my favourite favourite painters or anything, and this was not on my radar at all. And then I saw a video by Alvine. No, are they called Alvine? Oh my goodness me, Angel, honestly. I'm going to put the name on the screen, apologies. Racine, they were talking about this deck. And when I saw it, I was really intrigued. I felt really drawn to it. And then it popped up on eBay, and I was like, this cannot be a coincidence. And for £2.50, this most definitely cannot be a coincidence. So as mentioned, I've been using it, and very intuitive deck, which I didn't expect. Yeah. So yeah, that was it. That went quite quickly, didn't it? Maybe it didn't. I feel like I haven't been talking for very long, but I've probably been, you know, chatting for quite a while. So yeah, those are my pre-loved decks, both indie and mass market. What about you? Have you been purchasing any secondhand pre-loved decks anywhere? Let me know in the comment section. Do you like getting pre-loved decks? I know there are some people that, you know, prefer to get new. I tend to cleanse my decks, and I've never had a problem with purchasing pre-loved or secondhand. Actually, the contrary, I've really liked the treasure hunt of, you know, bringing an already pre-loved deck into my collection. But let me know in the comment section. I would love to know if you've purchased any recently. Also, you know, hit me up in the comment section. Drop me a note. Otherwise, I'm going to thank you very much for hanging out with me. Here's my coffee. I'm almost done, and I'm going to wish you a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're in the world. Take care. Toodaloo.